a Superman.
Oh, yeah. You my man, you my man, you my Superman. You my man, you my man, you my Superman. Fly me away, fly me high, take me low, anywhere you wanna go. Now let me tell you about my man and how he holds my hand. He got me feeling these feelings I can't describe. He always comes through. It's just a matter of time.
I'll be a Superman.
Faster than the speed of light. I got that kryptonite. I'm gonna make you eat tonight. 'Cause you my man, you my man, you my Superman. You my man, you my man, you my Superman. Fly me away, fly me high, take me low, anywhere you wanna go. You my man, you my Superman.
Come on.
Here by my side, holding me tight. I can face the world, not just today, but tomorrow. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm so in love with you. You got me feeling these feelings I can't describe. Not a bird, not a plane, it's my hero. Come to save the day.
I'll be a Superman.
It's not a bird, not a plane, it's my hero. Come to save the day. Fly me high, take me low, anywhere you wanna go. He's my superhero. 'Cause you my man, you my man, you my Superman. You my man, you my man, you my Superman. Fly me away, fly me high, take me low, anywhere you wanna go. You my man, you my Superman. Now all my ladies, clap your hands.
Come on.
And all my fellas, do the same.
Come on.
Hey oh, 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 hey
So we spent quite a lot of time at the hospital for sick kids, and through there I met up with with George, and became the chairman for his company. Step by step. Step by step. And we have started since then campaigning and letting people know. Thank you, man. Letting people know the importance of organ transplant. As a matter of fact, my daughter hopefully should be getting organ transplant by possibly the second week in March.
This year.
This year.
How long has she been waiting for that?
The disease was first noticed in '96, so since then. So she's been on dialysis. We used to go to the hospital, but in time, I think about 3 years ago, they brought the dialysis to our home. Yes, it gives her more time to do more things.
Right.
And the only thing is, we have a 4-bedroom house. We lost 2.5 of it just to her loan because of all the equipment and things like that. So in some ways you gain something and then you lose something. the only way that I can explain it, I'm not a doctor, but the only way we found out is that when she was going to the hospital, we go to the hospital 3 times a week, and the treatment itself is 4 hours. But when they brought the machine to our house, it's 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. So you would think, well, I think I'll take the hospital because the hospital is better. But that's not true, because with home dialysis, even though it's 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, number one, you do it at night when she's in bed anyways, so she was able to go back to school. Number two, which is the most important, is that when we were going to the hospital, the dialysis was run at, I'm just going to go on a limb and say about 100 clicks an hour, but at home it's like 30 clicks an hour, so which is good for the heart. So although it's longer, but it's run at a very, very slow speed.
Slow and steady.
Yes. So and she went to school and was able to learn how to do it herself. So she does everything herself. She does the needle and everything. So in fact, we were in Florida in August, and of course everywhere we go, that's the only thing we have to book for dialysis there. So we got there and the ladies came out and they were going to give her gifts. You know, whoa. I have my needles, I have everything, I do everything myself. All you got to do is just turn the machine on. And they said, how do you know how to do this? And when she started bringing out everything, she said, oh, she's a pro. So she does everything herself. And,
So what does she think of her dad doing this?
well, actually, we initially, 4 years ago, I was supposed to give her one of my kidneys. And I did all the tests and everything was perfect. But she was a little bit too weak and too sick to receive it then. But we actually, if you put my first name and last name on the website, you will see all the stories about it. So she's kind of very proud that, I joined the judge, and, but she doesn't know judge as much as I do. So I let her believe everything is okay. So I just smile and say, yeah, he's a great guy. So she's, so now we extend that into sickle cell now, and say, okay, well, one of the greatest things with sickle cell is that, especially in Toronto, we have a sick kids hospital that looks after kids, young kids. But once they get to 16, then sick kids hospital doesn't want anything to do with them anymore, because now they are adults. So now they're transferred next door, which is where Toronto General Hospital is. Well, the only trouble is that's the only hospital. And in some cases, we found out that they go to these hospitals to emergency when they're having crisis, and the doctors have no clue what to do, because all they're asking for is painkillers. So sometimes you could look at them and say, well, this is nothing but just a drug. But no, they are really, really in pain. And George can tell you more because he himself has received liver transplant twice. And so it's really something that, so we figured that, well, look, we've got to bring the awareness to the public to let them know what these kids are going through. And then, of course, Dr. MP Chrissy Duncan.
Did she leave some materials or land read that we can pass on?
She said she was going to leave some in the truck.
In the truck. Is there some in there?
So I'm not sure.
Did you want to check or me? I got you.
Yeah, so she said, MP Duncan came up and says, look, I'll help you guys any which way I can. So we said, what we're looking for is to be able to put the bill before, some kind of a bill before the parliament, let them know, because you can blame the government all you want. The only thing is, if you don't put anything before the government, even if say 3 say no and 2 say yes for now, that's fine. At least we have something to fight against next year. But if there's nothing there at all, then what do you expect them to do? So she said, well, I'll champion that. So she put Bill C-605 through. And so we were at Parliament building yesterday with MP Gerald Kennedy and a few doctors from hospitals and to announce it. And so now it's a race now to try and get as many people on board as possible to get this bill passed. So the whole idea of the bill being passed is that any hospital should be able to give care to anyone suffering from sickle cell, not particularly one hospital. We did a special walkathon last year, and all the funds that we raised, we were able to direct all that fund to Toronto General Hospital to start an indexing. Indexing basically means that just as you have people with diabetics or whatever has bracelets, medical, so now we've created something that still needs to go all over the country, that if a kid or an adult, a teenager with sickle cell was in crisis, but they are not at home, they are not in Toronto, they are here in Ottawa, and they are taken to any hospital, the doctor will already know what to do. They just show him the card. He knows exactly how to administer the medication and things, which is a plus. You know, so so that my group with George, we are extremely very big on research, trying to help the doctors and getting the word out there through awareness. You know, so.
The relation with organ donation and sickle cell is that people that are suffering with sickle cell can have their lives saved through a bone marrow transplant, just like leukemia or other bone marrow related diseases. So there is a lot of commonality, but our main theme here is let's pass Bill C-605.
And Badmus went through that.
The bone marrow transplant.
It
was a breakthrough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a young father in our group,
Yes, yeah.
and his son they first found out that he had sickle cell when he was 6 months old, and he had his first stroke when he was 9 months old, and it was they have to go to the hospital 3 times a week for needles. So eventually, the doctors came up with the idea that if they can do an experiment, bone marrow transplant, see how that works out.
Yeah.
So that's, oh, of course. How come? So he went, they did the test on him, now he wasn't. Mom did, no member of his family, cousins,
Yeah.
uncle. Then dad just says, this little kid, he's now 2. He's got a brother who's now 5. So they say, well, you want to try? So yeah, he doesn't even know what it was.
No.
So they took him to the hospital anyways, he tried, and it was a perfect match. So they did the bone marrow transplant. And now there are 2 sets of camps. There is what we call Camp Jumoki, which is a special camp for kids with sickle cell, because they have to be manned by doctors and nurses in case they go into crisis. But we also have another camp that we set up every year, that we take about 160 to 200 kids. And it's on the Ojibwe First Nation in Parry Sound.
Oh, yeah.
Because we have a program that we work with them. We bring their kids on the reserve to Toronto, and we take them out for the whole day. So the chief then says, okay, listen, if you guys are going to be doing all this with my kids, why don't you guys come and camp on my grounds? So the whole idea now is that because this young kid's gone through the bone marrow transplant, well, he doesn't have to go to Camp Jumoki anymore. So now he can now come to the regular camp.
Yeah.
And so that's the good thing.
How long have you been on the Toronto Police Force?
August this year will be 32 years.
32 years. You don't look like you're much older than 32.
So when did you start and when do you
All this
finish?
healthy walking you've been doing, right?
Yesterday,
Actually,
first,
July this year,
Parkland
I'll be
Hill.
62.
and we're finishing at Queen's Park, August 17th.
So you're not taking the most direct route.
No, we didn't want to miss Perth, and we know the mayor there. And
I bet you're even happier you didn't miss Carlton Place.
Well,
Right?
this is a straight line, but
There's
you'll do
no
some
way I was
meandering on the
gonna
way.
miss
then?
Carlton. I always come through Carlton. Like, we've done lots of tours. We always, there. You know, if we're heading in this direction, Carlton Place is always going to be on the way.
Great.
And Mayor LeBlanc, what does it mean to you then to have them come through the town?
Well, first, it's an honor, because I think this is a significant program. And I think it's very important to draw attention to something like this. I understand and know a lot about organ and tissue donation, but sickle cell anemia is something I've only just heard of. A number of years ago, I didn't have any understanding about it. So that you've brought the attention of the public to this serious disease and the way that we can help to mitigate it and make people's lives better. So I appreciate you doing this, especially on a day like today. I think that's true dedication. So,
Thank you for giving me.
Thank you very much for doing it. Yeah.